Hey, are you considering moving to Welland, Ontario, and you would like to learn a little bit more about its neighborhoods, the major roadways, and some of the pros and cons, and the prices of these homes in these different neighborhoods that make up the city? Well, I'm hoping that this video will be a comprehensive guide for you to help you relocate to Welland, which is smack dab in the middle of the Niagara region. And yeah, if you want to grab yourself a pen and pad, you can pause this video, rewind, watch whatever points. And of course, I want to hear from you guys because this is my first run at creating a video where we can kind of use a map and go through the different areas, and I want to create more in the future, so having your feedback is greatly appreciated. My name is Manny Da Silva and I'm a realtor with RE/MAX Niagara, and I help people move within and to the city of Welland as well as the greater Niagara region. So if you're not working with a realtor and you would like to buy, sell, or invest within the Niagara region, including Welland, Ontario, I've left my contact information in the description below, and you're more than welcome to reach out to me directly. So I've taken a snapshot of Google Maps because it allows me to mark it up. I've taken two of them. One is a little bit further out to kind of show the Niagara region and where Welland is in relationship to the other two bigger cities. And then I'm going to punch in a little bit so that way we can take a look at the different neighborhoods. So Welland is right here, right? It's almost smack dab in the middle of the Niagara region. And then we have St. Catharines, which is the largest city, which has about 135,000 people. And then Niagara Falls is about 88,000, and Welland is about 57,000 people, if I'm not mistaken. So Welland has got like a bit of a small town feel, but yet big enough where you can get, quite a bit of your amenities. But there are some pros and cons, like I mentioned, to living in Welland, where St. Catharines and Niagara Falls might be able to pick up the slack for you. So people do work in Welland. Actually, other people from other cities come to Welland for work. I used to do that. I used to live in St. Catharines and would come to Welland, but now I live in Welland. But there are some people that will commute to these three bigger cities. So we have Niagara Falls, St. Catharines, and then Hamilton is the third one that I find that people tend to commute to. So Welland is over here. The major highway, if you're not familiar, is the 406. This is a highway that is maintained by the province, okay? And then that will take you up to the QEW, but you will be able to get to St. Catharines in about 20 minutes or less, okay? And then for Niagara Falls, there are two ways to get there. By the way, before I move to Niagara Falls, the 406 is a 4-lane highway, so 2 going northbound, 2 going southbound. And the highways that get to Niagara Falls are 2 lanes, so they're rural highways, meaning that they're 1 lane in each direction. And there are 2 ways of being able to get there, essentially. So there's one that comes along the 27 and will take you to Montrose and take you to the QEW. And from the QEW, you can get up to Niagara Falls, or you can use the 406 to Highway 20. And Highway 20, you can come across and take you to Niagara Falls. Now, on Highway 20, there is a lift bridge because you do have the Welland Canal there. It's a highly active shipping lane. So that could add a little bit of time to your commute, but generally, it takes about 20 minutes to get to Niagara Falls, but that could be delayed by, say, 10 or even 15 minutes if you use the highway, use Highway 20. Whereas if you are, say, more central in Welland or on the southern side of the city of Welland, you can use Highway 20, which will go underneath the canal, so you don't have to worry about any lift bridges. I want to talk about the QEW here. So the QEW, you might be familiar because that goes all the way to Toronto, but it ends at Fort Erie, and then you can cross the border and get to Buffalo. And that's going to take you about, say, 30 minutes to Fort Erie, and about 40 plus, because it depends on the traffic to cross the border. But the third place that people will go and commute to is Hamilton. And Hamilton, there's 2 ways to get there. This is the #1 way, and that will take you about 45 to 50 minutes to get to Hamilton, obviously if there's no traffic. And then of course you can use the QEW, like I mentioned, to get to Toronto. And Toronto, I want to say it is 1.5 hours plus, okay? Because depending on the time of day that you go travel to Toronto, that could, maybe even double up your time. Now there is another way of being able to get out to Hamilton. It will be the Highway 20 route. And Hamilton will be 2 times longer than the QEW. And it's a good alternative just in case if there's construction or collision or something like that on the QEW or somewhere along the QEW. It's a great alternative route if you need to get to work. Beyond commuting, people are going to visit these cities for other reasons too. So for example, if you're into the nightlife, Niagara Falls is the tourist capital in the region, right? Lots of tourists go there and they want to be entertained, they want to have a variety of food, and Niagara Falls delivers. St. Catharines also has a very good restaurant scene. I don't want to take away from Welland, but one of the cons is that it's limited. If you're looking to have food delivered to you, for example, I don't think Uber is going to drive 40 minutes round trip to deliver your food. If you want to be able to enjoy your food, you're going to want to jump into the car and drive to one of these places. Before I even talk about the neighborhoods, I'm going to talk about the Welland Canal itself, because this is a major shipping lane over here, okay? And then it used to go through this city over through here, but now that has turned into a recreational canal, which allows you, if you're like me, to kayak through the downtown city of Welland. There's also biking trails, there are walking paths, that kind of stuff, but if you're into outdoor activities, Welland is a great spot. That's a big pro. So I talked about how the nightlife and yada 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 is not as great as some of the other 2 cities, but where Welland really shines, and I think is even better than, especially better than Niagara Falls, is their outdoor recreational. So there's a couple of complexes. There's the Welland International Flatwater, and then there's, I believe, Young's, where is it? It might be up here somewhere. So there's a Young Sports Complex. We have the Welland Jackfish baseball team. Baseball. But they have baseball diamonds. So there's a couple of baseball diamonds that you can rent out. Behind the flat water, by the way, there is an area where they've created like an artificial beach for beach volleyball. You have pickleball, you got tennis courts, basketball courts. This park over here, no, actually it's in here. It's called the Rotary Park, I believe. And there you'll have splash pads, a skateboard park. So there's like a bowl or whatever. Obviously I don't skateboard, but there is a place where kids can practice that craft, and you can rent paddle boards and kayaks and canoes from the city. The city operates a rental place that's in the area where you can kayak the whole canal if you wanted to. And there's not too many places in the Niagara region where you can do that. So that's really, really cool. So that's a major pro. And if you are looking to be close to those activities, then you would want to be mainly in one of the 3 that I'm going to point out major neighborhoods, which is going to be the Lincoln-Crowland area, which I believe goes like this. So this is one area that you can be in order to have access to it. And then the other one would be, or be in close proximity, is going to be Broadway. So this is Broadway. And the other one is Lincoln-Crowland. Now mind you, Lincoln-Crowland, I gotta let you know, has got the widest price variance in all the neighborhoods. So highly active in terms of sales, but in terms of pricing, it's got the widest spectrum. You can find homes in Lincoln-Crowland starting at today at $280,000. I don't know what kind of quality of home you're going to get, and I would probably make sure that it's heavily inspected and scrutinized. But you can get into starter homes in this neighborhood. There's another neighborhood which I'll point out in a little bit that is probably great if you're looking for that first home, because Welland actually does have some affordable prices. I would say the lion's share is going to be in between, say, $350 to $500, somewhere in between there, but between $280 and $950 you can see homes. And I find that the further east that you are. So away from the old canal, you're going to have newer builds. There are some new constructions that are in areas that are on the south east corner of the neighborhood. They're going to be less than 15 years of age. But the closer you are to the west or closer to the old canal, you're going to have the older homes, things that are built before the 1960s. So you're going to have a wide variety of homes in this neighborhood that would be built before the 1960s, peppered in with stuff that's between, I don't know, 60s and 80s, and then stuff that's less than 15 years of age. Another big one is going to be Prince Charles area. I believe it's like this. This is Prince Charles. Okay, and on the east side, so it's kind of divided like this, but on the east side here, you have quite a bit of older homes, character homes. These are things that are basically the affluent when the city was, founded, and like, it's the beginnings of the city. The affluent would live in and around this area here. Now there are obviously homes that are going to be newer, stuff that's built between 51 and 99 years of age, but if you're looking for those older brick, stylized homes and stuff, I would consider going to take a look at the eastern part of Prince Charles. On the western part over here, you're going to have newer homes. These are going to be stuff that's going to be built between 51 and 99 years of age, or I'd say even like 30 to 50 years of age. It's going to be all around here. Plus, there's going to be some new development peppered in. Then you have North Welland. North Welland. This has quite a bit of activity. I find a lot of people are asking me about North Welland and finding places here. Okay, you have, I'm going to get rid of that line. You do have the Seaway Mall. There's a commercial strip that goes along this way. Okay, that commercial strip allows people to have access to the shopping mall. There's like a mini bus terminal at the Seaway Mall, so a lot of buses, if you're looking into public transit, converge there. You have a shopping center, which is a grocery store, which is called Zehrs, which is Niagara's version of Loblaws. And there's a lot of development that's happening along Quaker and Niagara. There's a strip that leads up to the border of Welland. All the land on the east side of Merrittville / Niagara is going to be up for sale. I can imagine some of it is already up to, for sale. Some of it's slated for demolition because they're going to build mixed-use buildings. You've got the Welland Jackfish, the diamonds that are up there. And then, like I said, you have access to the commercial. So building in this area is quite smart. You already have some townhomes and single-family homes that are being built here and also on the south side of Quaker. And then there will be a couple of roads in and around to create infill in that neighborhood. I'm going to take a bit of a time out here to ask you guys, how am I doing? Can you give me the thumbs up on this video? Have I been addressing some of your questions and concerns? And if not, I want to hear from you in the comments section. What questions do you wish I could address in a future video? And also, I want to know where you're coming from. Are you coming from, St. Catharines like I did, or Niagara Falls, or Colborne, or perhaps Fort Erie, maybe Hamilton, Toronto? I'd love to hear from you and where you're coming from, because I want to help you relocate to Welland. It's such a fantastic place. With that said, let's go back to the map. So those are going to be the 3 most active real estate neighborhoods. If you're looking for another entry-level neighborhood, you have the downtown area. There's commercial space over here. You have the bus terminal. So this is the bus terminal for Welland. All of the buses go through here. This will allow students to get to the Niagara campus, which is over here. You can also get to Brock University from this bus station. You've got this old downtown feel. Remember that in this area here, this is the oldest part of Welland. The city hall is down there. You have a court house that's there, restaurants and some bars, but the festivals mainly take place along the canal over here. There's a part that's here, and also Merritt Island. Those are the 2 main areas where festivals happen. So they close down the streets. There's actually a stage that sticks out from the water, and they have concerts like cover bands and that kind of stuff. And you have a variety of different types of music that come throughout the year in the summertime. And one of the biggest festivals that Welland has is the Float Fest. If you want to be in an area where that's very walkable, you have cafes, you have restaurants, you have transit, that kind of stuff, Welland downtown is going to be one that I would consider. And like I said, it's a neighborhood where you can get in on the ground level. A lot of homes that are ranging between, I would say, 350 to maybe about high sixes, maybe even touching 7. But a lot of it's in a narrow band of, I would say, like the 3 to 6 as of today. I mean, prices are subject to change because, interest rates are high right now, which means that the prices of homes have come down some. If you're looking for more of a, country feel, right? You want to be away from density, but you want to be a part of the city of Welland. There's a couple of different options, but the main option is going to be Cookstown, which is the only neighborhood that is on the eastern side of the main Welland Canal. Homes here will often have cisterns and septic tanks. They're completely separate from, the city services, and they're high up there in prices. Not a lot of activity that's there. I've seen some homes that are in and around that 650 mark, but a lot of them are pressing or pushing around that $1 million from what I've seen. Then we have another area of the city that's seeing a lot of development. There's actually a master plan by Empire Communities. It's in Dane City. I believe it's somewhere around here. There's gonna be a master community built, and those homes I think are starting off at around like 550 and going up. But the price range of that neighborhood is gonna be anywhere between 500 to say 1.2. This is Broadway. A lot of the housing is going to be up in this area here, okay? And you have some new development that's dotted in the older neighborhoods, but it's not like having a master community or anything, but you see some development that's there. This right here is going to be Goyle Creek, and there is quite a bit of development that's happening in this area. There's a lot of beautiful homes. In this corner, actually around this area, there's quite a bit of new home development. So you have Coyle Creek, and then you have West Welland. So West Welland is here. And both these neighborhoods are going to be, high sixes to 1.3, 1.4 million. A lot of the homes here will compete in that 700 range. One last neighborhood, it's all the way up on the other side here. This is going to be the 406 Welland. The homes that are being built are going to be in this area right along the waterway. If you are moving to Welland and you need a relocation person to help you with getting here, please reach out to me. I've left my details in the description below. Thanks a lot for watching. My name is Manny Da Silva from Remax Niagara, and I will see you in the next video.